right, everyone, welcome back to episode 228 of the 580 Show. Myself and Jason Frawley. What's up, guys?
What's up, boys and girls?
So, this week I want to talk about we got World's Strongest Man, and I want to talk about our show that we're hosting. Well, you're competing, but
Oh
uh,
yeah.
so yeah. Well, actually, let's start with the Pro-Am, Frawley, our
Yep.
Pro-Am. So, um, obviously you're competing, but
Yep.
you kind of understand. I mean, you're up here in this area, like you went to the Butler Fair, I'm sure a lot like in the past and like other fairs like that. So
Yep.
Hooksound Fair is pretty similar as far as like size.
Yep.
Um, just looking for ways to like kind of brainstorm. I think this week we're gonna start putting like headshots out on social media of the athletes, like
For
like
sure.
their favorite competition picture, and then like
Yep.
a little bit about them, just to make it
Yep.
more of like a pro show feel. Um, but you know the events, obviously. I'm just trying
Yep.
to brainstorm more things we can do for the athletes. Like we have a pretty good roster already, which is cool. I'm hoping some more guys get involved.
For sure. For sure. And I think we will see some more people sign up. It's a good
Yeah.
list of events. It's a good. Do you want to run through the events real quick so that everybody
Yeah.
knows them?
Yeah.
Um,
So, and this actually, I can't say for sure that it'll be this exact order, but right now
right.
this is how I plan it.
Yeah.
Um, it'll be max log clean and press, which I'm almost certain that'll be first.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Um, the car deadlift, watch, I'm almost certain that'll be second.
First.
We are gonna start testing the car deadlift within the next like week or two because we
Yep.
have like a perspective car that looks really American and like cool truck that we can deadlift. So um that'll be second. Sandbag toss third. Power pin hold either fourth or fifth, and then sandbag carries the other one.
Yep.
Uh, I think obviously like max log's cool. Um, we're gonna have three Bardos logs there for you
Okay.
guys.
Yeah.
And at least two on stage going at once. Like,
And
so
then
like
one of the warm-ups.
yeah, at least one in the warm-ups. You guys will warm up on the same stage you guys are competing on.
Sure.
So
Sure.
just to keep everything consistent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It is a big benefit whenever you're warming up with the same log that you'd be using, right?
right.
Like how many
Yeah.
times you go to a show and you use a piece of equipment and then you go out there and the log's completely different. I mean,
Oh,
that's definitely the norm, but wouldn't it be nice to have the
yeah.
same equipment on the floor?
Well, you
You know?
guys will have so every competitor will have access to the exact equipment you're competing on. Now,
Right.
car deadlift's a little weird because like the
Yeah.
car's just going to be rigged up. So
Yep.
like how would as a competitor, not saying this is exactly how we'll do it, but so because I've never had to do this as a promoter. So for the car deadlift, right? Like we'll have if we do have women sign up, we'll have their car set up, and then
Yep.
we obviously have all the men. Um, and they did just, I was telling you about it offline, but they repaved the entire like front area where all the crowd is. So
Yep.
that's like a huge added bonus because so the crowd's not on like gravel. And
Right.
then you guys will still be on a platform, but it'll be like super level now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
which is really cool. But as far as an athlete, so how would you want me as a promoter to make sure you guys warm up like for a car deadlift?
Yeah,
Like
that's hard.
like,
I
do I
mean,
bring a trap bar? Do I bring a couple trap bars, like a normal bar? Would
I'm
you guys want to just walk up to the car and like mess with it? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
I'd be a little bit curious what other people have to say. So if you are a competitor competing at the Pro Am, I would definitely comment and give us your thoughts on that
yeah.
because
Or if
you
you've
really,
ever done it at another show too.
yeah, because just walking into it cold is really difficult.
Yeah.
Even if you do warm-ups, right? Even if you're just going into it in warm-ups cold, obviously you'd have to be doing something to get your body ready, bands, miscellaneous, whatever, just to try to get your body ready to go. But I mean, I feel like a trap bar of some kind would be beneficial,
Yeah,
right?
just bring
Like,
like a couple trap bars just at least to start priming.
yeah, and
Um,
that way you can at least get ready to go in the back. And
yeah.
like it's definitely still different than a car deadlift, but like the side handles at least are somewhat replicated. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's tough. I actually had that thought. I was like, well, how are we gonna
Yeah.
warm up for that? Because
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like I mean, you guys are in a fortunate position, maybe go over and pull the women's
sure,
like car
sure,
as we're setting it up
yeah,
because it'll be lighter.
yeah,
Then what do the women do? Like, do they use a trap bar? You
sure,
know, like you'll
Mhm.
be a little like your central nervous system will be warmed up from max log,
Right.
but it's a completely different movement. It's like obviously just don't want guys to be getting hurt or anything like that.
Yeah, and like the other thing, I mean, the other benefit potentially that we've talked about is having a truck, and if we do have people sitting in the truck, and an empty truck versus a truck full of people is a different weight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
that's
don't
a
know how much
plus.
it's gonna add, but
Yeah.
yeah,
And that
that's
does make it a little bit harder too from the promoter side because now when you have spectators sitting in the truck, like what do you do? Do you make all the same people sit in the truck bed the
yes.
entire time?
Yeah.
Or like do you say how much do you weigh? Because now it's like
Yeah,
it's
no,
you know what I mean? It gets hairy. So
yeah, what I would do like so what I'm gonna if say we have like four people like in the
sure.
truck bed, it's gonna have to be those four people committed for the entire time.
It would have to be. There's
Just
no other way to do it.
yeah.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah,
kind of like a bummer, but like I mean, you don't want to sacrifice the integrity of the event
yeah,
either.
right.
So
Yeah, well, I'm just it's just one of those events you got to test a lot because
for sure.
you don't want to
Yeah, we
screw
don't want
anyone
somebody
up.
doing 25 reps. That's
Yeah, and we
boring.
don't want everyone zeroing as
Yeah, we
well.
don't want everybody else hitting one rep or zero, and then somebody
Yeah.
getting three and they win. You want it to look good and be attractive and
Yeah,
actually
it
be
will
competitive in
be.
the event.
I actually was looking at the rules and I gotta put this in, but it's gonna be a sidecar deadlift. Like it's a
The
side.
side handle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think you said
actually
that before.
yeah, I said it, but I actually didn't add that to the rules, so I'm gonna
Okay.
do that.
Okay. I
Um,
definitely remember you saying that, but
yeah. So, I mean, honestly, and then from a promoter to a competitor, I think that'll be our longest event just because I can get two of the same model car, same year, everything, but it's still in the back of my mind. I'm like, something could be slightly different, like the angle the car's on the deadlift, everything. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have all you guys just in a row. We're gonna reorder after every event. So,
I think that's the best way to do it because everyone has seen like car deadlift events where a really good deadlifter didn't do well and a not so good deadlifter did, and it's on
yeah,
two different setups and it makes you scratch your head. So you
yeah.
definitely want to eliminate that if possible.
Well, I remember it was like this is like 2021 or 2022. This is the first ever clash of my class, and they had two Jeep Renegades they were deadlifting,
Yeah,
and everyone in the one lane beat everyone in the other lane. And it was like,
yeah, which is
it was like just like it was like a red flag,
it's
So
possible, right? It's possible, but it's like, well, I don't know.
yeah,
I
it's
know that
yeah,
Jimmy's a good deadlifter and Tommy's not. So how did Tommy beat Jimmy and vice versa? Like, yeah, it makes you scratch your head for sure.
yes. I did just add that it's a side handle apparatus as well.
That's cool.
Um, But yeah, so I mean that's why I like talking about it a lot because like even like with this and regionals and stuff, like things like that pop up where it's like,
Yeah.
hey, what have you done? I'm trying to think like when I've had a car deadlift in a show, I can't remember what I did. But
And honestly, may have just been go up and pull it for reps because if it was at a local show too, I mean,
yeah,
it's possible that like it was just light, and if you pulled 18 reps, you pulled 18
yeah,
reps. You know,
yeah. So I
like
have
you
to
don't
think
really
about
want that
that.
to happen, but
Right.
in a local show, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
the way basically we have so the ideal layout for the day is that we have five events and we have the stage for 5 full hours. So basically what we'll try to do is do like 1 hour towards each event. So that doesn't mean like each event will take an hour.
yeah,
That'll mean like, 1 to 2 is going to be the log clean and press.
yep,
And then as soon as you finish the log clean and press, like start thinking about car deadlift because we're going to start that at 2
yeah, like get to it right away.
because there's going to be some that we run a little bit longer on, some that
Yep,
the show's going to be exact. It has to be 5 hours is our time cap because we have to be
yeah,
off the stage.
yep,
'Cause we have like about like an hour buffer where at the end where like we have to clean up and like get the stage ready for the band that's
yeah,
following us. So,
yeah,
but yeah, so like sandbag toss will be I think a pretty easy event. Actually, max log I think will be a pretty easy event, especially
yeah,
having two platforms. If we do end up having pro am women sign up, we'll do two lanes for men and one for women.
sure,
If we only have men, we're gonna have three max lanes for men. We're just
yeah,
gonna like And then we will probably condense it as we go, but
Yeah,
basically like have one log start at 300,
yeah,
one at like 320 and one at
yeah,
340 and like
yeah,
just work our way up and
yeah.
have
And if
options
yeah,
for
that
guys.
that
Yeah.
can run really smooth too. If you have multiple lanes on a max, that can run really well.
Yeah,
So,
it's gonna run. It's gonna run really great. It's just
yep.
nailing down the final things.
Well,
I think Sam.
and not to take a knock at other competitors, but like when you're signing up for a pro am, you're dealing with competitors who have been around for a while, so they kind of know what to expect and know the flow of events. So
Right,
there's not as much jump up or I don't do I go yet? When do I go? When am I
right.
up? It's like no, you call your shot and like let's go. Move on
Yeah.
with the progress with the process. So
So
yeah.
you know competitors more than me that are
Yep.
signed up. What do you think what do you think like our max log is at right now? Like if you had to guess like what we'd be hitting.
Like what will hit? I mean, Gus is good for four.
Yeah.
Let me take a look here.
The four, I mean, 400, like we're already looking
I'll
at
be
like
shocked
400.
if we don't see 400. So
See, that would be cool.
Kacharski is banged up. George, Dylan, Bryce, Nico, Sean, Hunter, Anthony. Anthony Vasil is another one to watch for the log for sure. I think he hit a 405 for two,
Oh,
which is
wow.
pretty impressive. Calvin Vaughn, Calvin Sexton, Tyler Gustafson, Joe Bazuria, Jake Henderson. I actually don't know Jake, so sorry.
He just sent me
Nate.
his stuff. He's like Hendo. He's actually the same nickname as me, but
Oh,
his
really?
name on Instagram is like Hendo Training Systems.
Yeah, Nathan Warfel and Terrence Gilbert. Terrence has hit a 420 log before.
Oh, really?
Um, that
Wow.
was a while ago, but we'll see what kind of shape he comes in. I mean, I don't think it's crazy to say that we'll see 400 plus. I mean, I won't be shocked to see a 420. I think if we get to 200 kilos, 440, I would be a little surprised because I don't know if somebody will push another person to get there, but
Yeah.
it's not out of the question, in my opinion, which
So
is
what
really
will,
awesome to say.
yeah. And I liked it. We're doing 10-pound jumps, and I like that so much more than 20 because you would see so many split points with 20,
Yeah.
like with a big group of guys. I just don't want to see a lot of split points.
And the 10-pound jumps are nice when you have competitors who understand what the significance of the 10-pound jumps are,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Because now there's a little more game planning, and you might have some people taking some risks to hit some things that puts them better in point
Yeah,
position. You can
yeah.
game a little bit more, which is cool.
For sure.
So
So you guys will be standing on like horse stall mat platforms and then
mhm.
also have ab mat. I believe we're gonna have the ab mat big log crash pads.
Those pads are awesome.
Oh
They're
yeah,
amazing.
it'll
Yeah,
be cool.
yeah,
Um,
that's
so
cool.
if we do two logs, I'll probably have one start at 300 and one start like 340 or 50, depending on what the
Yeah,
guys, because they'll be
I
like
don't think 350 would be unreasonable, to be honest
yeah.
with you. I
I mean,
really don't.
yeah. So you just kind of wanted to go into like two lanes and then figure it out.
Yep.
So, yeah, and then we'll do, like I said, we'll do the car deadlift after that. I think those two events will be really fun. Honestly think, and I think sandbag toss will be really fun for people to watch.
Sandbag toss is such an entertaining event.
Yeah,
Like when it's competitive and people have good like watching somebody hit a good sandbag run is awesome. Like when
yeah,
they execute perfectly and it goes really well, it's an awesome event. So
yeah.
when it
I'm
gets
just really
heavy, it's a
hoping,
little challenging, but
yeah, I'm just really hoping that people come by and like watch Strongman. You know what I mean? Like, it's
yeah,
where we're at is like undeniable for like you can't not at least look at it because
right.
we're right by the entrance. So
Yep.
it's like that'll be so sandbag toss will be around like 3 p.m. I'm
Yep.
hoping people see like shit flying up in the air and they're like, "Oh man, what's
Like what
that?"
is that
I
over there?
mean,
For sure. Well,
so
this is a great opportunity for people who do like to get it in crowd involvement. Like Nico's very good at that. So
right,
I can imagine that the he's going to get people's eyes, right? He's going to
right,
we're going to have a chance to engage with the crowd, which normally you wouldn't
yeah,
really see as much. It's normally just people's parents and significant others
right,
that you're trying to get excited, and they're not really there to watch you.
right. Which
So
I'm hoping
that
we can get a little crowd going.
sure,
So I
sure,
like, so I'm trying to debate like, okay, so then you have sandbag toss, and the last two events are carry and then the hold. I'm
yep,
actually trying to debate what people would like to see more. Like I think as a strong man, I'd rather see sandbag carry, but I do
sure,
think there's something to having like three of you like big dudes up
yeah,
on the stage, like holding like literally like 600 pounds,
yeah.
just as long as you can. You know what I
I
mean?
think that has a good crowd appeal for sure.
Yeah. Like
So
I think the group events are boring to us, but I do think like there's something cool about like that grittiness. And you guys are going to
yeah,
be having 500 pounds like on that power pin.
right.
So yeah, it'll be an 18-inch pick for that power pin. I think I told you that this week.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Now, does is the sandbag going to be head to head too?
I'm that's TBD with
Yeah, I know it's tough.
like I'm like going back and forth on it. Oh, I will know in a couple weeks because I want to get you and Gus and a couple people down on the stage, and I
Yeah,
basically want to see like if you're going back. So I'm weighing between two things, and obviously time has to do with it. But if like two people are side by side, does it mess you guys up?
sure.
You know, and then
Yep.
obviously the person in the back is going to get buried because you're not going to see them as well because they're in the
Yeah,
back side of the stage.
yeah,
What I considered was setting up like an oval and doing it like they've done at America's Strongest Man and
yeah,
have like basically have you guys do like a pig pen like
yeah.
carry.
I don't hate that.
If
I
if
almost it
if I know
depends
we
what
have
the
enough
spacing
time to
looks like.
do it, I think that's probably the best way.
Right. And
Um,
only having one person go to time is tough,
yeah.
because you do want to move through competitors. If you
Yeah,
can
and if,
do multiple at once, that's the way to go. But,
yeah. If we end up
whatever,
getting if we have 30 plus competitors, we're gonna have to be really
yeah,
dialed in with
yeah,
time.
yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, it's TBD. I'm working with a sandbag company to potentially have like American sandbags.
Which
So
is awesome.
which would be
That's
really cool.
yeah,
And then we'll obviously have some sandbags for you guys to warm up on. And then, like power pin hold, like that's gonna be a quick warm up. Like you're just gonna probably grab it like once, maybe twice.
yep, yep,
Sandbag toss, that's a quick warm up. Car deadlift, we gotta figure like, yeah, we'll be good for the 5 hours. It's just
yeah,
waiting to see how many because we actually already have 16 super heavies.
which is great.
Yeah,
We
which is
need more.
really cool.
We need more.
Yeah.
We want more.
So yeah, I'm gonna start communicating with the guys more like now that we're getting like our base of roster.
Yep.
I I recommend I'll send out where to stay, but I'm gonna recommend Center, like by the
Yeah,
gym.
yeah,
Just there's all the restaurants, like there's Texas Roadhouse, like all your go-to restaurants, Chipotle.
yeah,
There's a mall, even though it's like a dying mall. There's still stuff like, and then like obviously if you want to go to Pittsburgh, we can help with like recommendations. We're just
sure.
35 minutes outside of Pittsburgh, so
Yeah, and
uh,
if you're flying in, honestly, staying in Robinson wouldn't be that bad either because you can get to Robinson out
yeah,
state routes. So, and that's close to the airport. So there's lots there.
yeah. There's a lot of.
Um,
I'm just gonna lay out all the options for you guys,
yeah,
and then I'll just
yeah,
send it out in an email.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Robinson has the most options, and then it's super close to Pittsburgh,
Yeah,
and super close. We're very close. If you're flying in, we're very close to the airport,
yeah,
so
we're
we're
like
only like
15 minutes. So,
15-20 minutes from the
yeah,
airport. Um, so yeah, that's the main airport you stay at. So I'll get all that communicated to the athletes, but if you guys have ideas for how we can promote this and improve it and stuff like that, obviously we have the payouts.
yep,
Uh, that's all good and dandy, and like we're gonna have headshots for you guys when you get there at rules. So, like, rules will be the night before, so
yep,
that I'm gonna have everyone. It'll be a nice, quiet gym, be able to go over everything with you guys. Like, obviously we're on a time schedule. Get everyone their tickets for the fair because that'll all be covered for you guys, obviously.
yeah.
Um,
Getting that done allows us to get to the venue, and when we're at the
yeah,
venue, we're only worried about executing the show,
yeah,
right? Which
yeah.
is
When
great.
you get to the venue, it's on you. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, like you're there. We already went through the rules. There's no questions. It gives you a chance to get all that out of the way Friday night. And then it's like, okay, guys, we're here to compete. Like let's get this thing rolling.
yeah.
So
So, if you get first place and you're not a pro, you get your pro card and you get the America's Strongest invite.
that's cool.
So that's really
That's
cool.
cool.
If a pro finishes above of you, but if you're the highest placing amateur, you're a pro now.
Right.
So that's gonna
Right.
be really cool to uh, the top three classes. So basically what I have on my sheet, and this could change just with the things that are changing, but the following will be awarded pro card if you're not already a pro, and invite to America's Strongest. That's for first place. Pro card if you're a highest placing amateur, not already a pro, and then third pro card if you're the highest placing. So highest placing amateur is essentially getting their pro card.
Right. Yep.
And Arnold invites are given to the top three amateurs regardless of placement. So the top three, it could be if we have four pros come, it could be five, six, seven, but
Sure.
you all get your invite to the Arnold as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's cool. There's a lot of incentive.
yeah,
Now
and national stuff too.
no, I saw the Las Vegas Pro-Am, which was at the end of April.
Uh-huh.
I believe they invited the top five to America's Strongest Man.
Oh,
Is there,
really?
yeah,
I'll
do
have
you
to
have
find out about that.
anything about that? Because I happened to see it and I was like, huh,
Huh.
I haven't heard anything about that, but I'm,
No, I'll find out. I
yeah,
missed the last state chair. I actually missed the last two state chair meetings because it's like right when Micah goes to bed.
wow,
So it's like it's late at night.
wow,
So
what a state
uh,
chair.
so yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that. I'll look into
Yeah, I'm
that.
just curious. I mean, I think that at least I think that's what I saw on social
Yeah.
media, but
Okay.
like you said, things are changing. So
Yeah.
it may not, it may just be top three. It may just be whatever. So now
Yeah.
the top three placing amateurs getting invited to the Arnold is cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
It's cool.
amateur for nationals as well.
Yep.
Um, so it's let me just have that real quick, just so I don't misspeak. But so for nationals, if you were an amateur, um, it says uh, amateur national invites are also available at the Pro Am as follows: 1 to 8 athletes in the class. So we have what? We already have may
16.
we have 12 plus. So
Yeah.
first through fifth place qualify for nationals if their pro card isn't earned.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, and this all might change, but
Yeah.
yeah, this is just it's gonna be cool because this group of guys and maybe girls if girls sign up, but um are gonna be the first people like with this program we're gonna do every year at the fair. So it's like we're trying to set a really good relationship. Next year will be the 80th anniversary of the Hookstown Fair. So next year will be even bigger. And we'll have, I believe, some really cool events that I'm already talking to them about, like
Which is
some like
awesome.
with a car and like some really events you don't really get to see a lot because
Yeah.
they have a dirt arena and they
Yeah.
have a concrete arena there too, that we would have access to throughout the day. It's just this year was booked a little bit too late. So we're on the stage, which is perfectly fine, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's gonna be cool. Hopefully build a good relationship for years to come. Same with Bridge with
Yeah.
regionals.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah. So yeah, just send us ideas with the pro am if you guys have them.
Yeah.
Uh,
We have some promotional ideas, but we're
yeah,
definitely open to some more. And it's never bad to have more options, right? Like we might have a list of 5 to 10 things that we want to do to promote, but you might only get through three because
right.
executing might take a certain amount of time. So that's cool.
Let me ask you
More
too.
ideas, better.
You guys are big boys, and it's potentially gonna be hot. Hopefully, we have good weather. The
Yeah,
one nice positive is that we're under roof no matter what.
which is cool.
It's outdoor. So the only thing you would ever have to get slightly quickly wet for would be sandbag toss
Sure.
if it rained, but we'll
Yep.
have a tent next to it and everything like that. Um, we're gonna have tents with like waters, Gatorades, and stuff for you guys, or another sponsor, potentially like a hydration sponsor. Um, but like, is there anything else that you feel like you guys like helps with like you're only there for 5 hours, but like,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be going pretty fast, but
Yeah, I mean, if there's some way like under the athlete area to have some kind of fans running, sure that would help,
yeah,
right?
we will
If it's an
try.
option.
Yeah, we will
You
definitely
know,
try.
I mean, potentially tank tops for competition shirts as an option. It
I
helps
yeah.
keep people cool.
What I
Um,
might do, what I might do is do one shirt and one tank top for you guys.
sure.
You can kind of choose.
Yeah.
Maybe just have your
Yeah.
last name on them.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be fun. I'm really excited. The only other thing I had to talk about was Worlds this week.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I'm
So
excited.
yeah, it's
I'm.
gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Um,
I've never been so excited to stare at a spreadsheet.
yeah, no shit.
So I don't want to
I
go down
think
the rabbit hole again, but
yeah, I think some groups are I never want to say like definite because like every year random stuff happens.
sure.
Also Bobby's not competing, Thompson.
Yeah, he didn't get invited.
Really?
Yeah, he just, I mean, sorry, Bobby, but he just hasn't had that many good shows in a row. And
Wow.
with the reduction from 30 to 25 people, there were just some necessary cuts. And I think he may have been one of those people. I think of like Tim Buck, Kevin Ferris, Spencer Remick. They're just Ivers Schmoxdellas. He didn't get invited.
Yeah, it's
Ra
crazy.
Rauno Heinla didn't get invited. So, I mean, there's a lot of names that you'd hear that just didn't get invited, and
Well, and for Bobby, what really hurts him, if he was from any other country, he'd be
yes,
invited.
that's definitely true. There's definitely truth to that. So, but yeah, I mean, the group rule change is really exciting now. There is no stone off, right?
Right.
So now
That
everyone will do the final event, which is cool.
and that
And
is honestly a good step in the direction that they're listening for
yes,
once.
yes,
Like,
I don't know anybody who is upset about that change, right?
yeah,
Because now if you're just really good at stones, you don't have to just sandbag your way through the groups and scoring the events as the first final event. So your prelims are scored if against across all groups, and whoever places highest gets 10 points going into the finals. So now every event in the prelims matters, which is
right.
great.
Which
That's
is
what you want.
it's better for everyone.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, people just can't. It got to a point where people were gaming the system so hard.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
so it's still two from each group, though, right?
Yes. Yep.
All
Still
right. So
two from each
group
group.
one, quick prediction show. Group one, Andrade, Tom Evans, Jocko, Tom Stoltman, Eddie Williams. I think
Yeah.
that's Andrade and Stoltman for sure.
That's who I have too. I'm curious now, the one that people are talking about a lot is Jocko. They're saying
Really?
yeah, they're saying he had a really good showing here in the last couple months. I can't remember what show it was. But he had a really good showing and he looked healthy, which is the
Really?
first
Wow.
time in a while because he's been banged up. So,
I could
but
see, and I think Tom Evans,
if
he's
he's
a
healthy, if he's
yeah,
healthy, he's
he
been banged
struggled
up
with that.
too.
Yep.
So, and Eddie Williams had
Um,
a great Worlds last year. So let's not forget that he had a
yeah,
great Worlds. He just got
that's a
bumped out of the
strong
stone,
that's
out
a
of the stone
strong
group.
group.
So, yeah,
Um,
my pick would be Andrade and Stolman. I agree.
yeah, mine too.
So,
And it might be square, but it's like at some point you got to just. I think this is the most stacked group is group two.
group two is unbelievable.
Derwinski, Patty Haynes, Hooper, Bryce Johnson, Matt Ragg. I think is unreal.
It's unreal. And the funny
Um,
thing is, Derwinski was a last second invite, which I'm happy they got him included. That would have been like a shame if he didn't get invited, being that he took sixth last year.
yeah. Well, we
But
should have we should have prefaced too the events in the prelims are the loading medley, a
yeah,
deadlift for reps, a
yep,
toss, an overhead medley, and a stone medley.
yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, obviously in strongman it matters,
Yeah,
what
that's
the events are.
yeah, especially for somebody like Patty Haynes, right? Patty Haynes is excellent at every event except for overhead.
Really.
And if he can manage his way to not get last in the overhead, that may be the difference in him getting in and not. So,
And people were talking about
um,
Bryce Johnson being a huge dark horse this year.
right,
But like Matt Rags another guy.
yeah.
Like I'm gonna
Unfortunately, unfortunately for Bryce Johnson, I look at the prelim events and I'm just like, it's so stacked against him because
yeah.
if it comes to moving very heavy weights, I would have Bryce up there to advance. But with the speed events and with the throwing events, I'm looking at Patty Haynes, I'm looking at Derwinski, and I'm like, that's going to be really tough for him to get through. Not saying it's impossible, but this group is just so tough. Like Hooper is
And
the obvious winner,
Rag could win the
right?
deadlift.
He could. I think I probably would pick him to win the deadlift, to be honest.
I think
Um,
I'll take Hooper and Derwinski out of this group.
I think I would actually take Hooper and Matt Rag, to be honest. That's
I
my
was
pick.
leaning on Rag too.
So,
Um,
but
group
this is a tough one. It's really hard to pick.
yeah, group three. Shane Flowers, Hatton, Mateus, Evans, Nanais, I think is how you say his name,
Yep.
and Rain O'Neal. I don't know very
Reno,
well.
no, yeah, he is the SCL champion from last year, and he is like the Liz and Law's favorite. Like
Really?
they have been definitely campaigning for him to get to Worlds because he has apparently been having very good shows back to back to back. So people are interested to see how he does on this big of a stage. I mean, that in my
Hatton,
opinion, in this group, you're looking at the two, Hatton and
yeah.
Kielskowski,
You
right?
definitely are. Well, especially with Mateus looking healthy recently.
Yeah, just won the Siberian Power Show.
Yeah.
Lucas
Beat
Hatton just took
Thor.
second at the Arnold. So I
Yeah,
it's
that's who
hard
I
for
have too.
me. Yeah, it's hard for me not to pick
But
those
that's a
two.
guy to look out for though. If they're saying Reno, I mean
Yep.
that's cool.
Well,
You remember like Hooper
Shane
came out
Flowers,
of there's always people that come out of nowhere and make the fun.
exactly. Shane Flowers is a great mover and he's a great thrower.
Yeah,
So, there's a chance.
for sure. Group four,
Yep.
Maxine. Um, I butchered his name last year.
Andre Sweet too.
Yeah. Tristan Hoth, Trey Mitchell, and Luke Richardson. This is a great group.
This is a really good group.
It's just
Yep.
very close. Like I I like Mitchell to come out, and I'm rooting for Richardson.
Yeah.
Um, Tristan
This
Hoth is
one I
really
think is a
good.
toss-up group, man. Like Trey is brutally strong, but again, with a loading event and a throwing event, I don't know if I'm picking him with Maxime in this group because when Maxime is on point when it comes to health, like when he is healthy, he's unbelievable. Same thing with Richardson. I
Right.
think those would be my picks. I think it'd be Maxime and Luke Richardson
Yeah.
for
I
this group.
I'm taking Mitchell and Richardson.
I want Trey to do well. I
Yeah.
just don't know if I can pick him now in the events.
Maxime is
We'll
the
see.
craziest. Like he's just so hit or miss.
And his
So
deadlift does hold him back for
yeah,
sure.
for
So
sure.
there's that asterisk there that's like, well, depending on how he does on the deadlift, if he takes last place in the deadlift, I think I'm going to
That's
take
tough.
Mitchell to advance. So
Yeah. And then the last group's Andrew Flynn, Guardione, Pablo, Singleton, and Luke.
there's a couple.
I think Evan and Luke are the favorites, but
Yeah.
I think Pablo or Nick. I don't think Andrew Flynn's there yet. Um,
Yeah.
but I think I'm gonna take Singleton and I'm gonna take Nick Guardione in an
Same.
upset to make the
Same. I
finals.
think Nick Guardian is going to beat Luke Stoltman. I really do. And that's not just a recency bias. I really do with the events. I could see Nick winning the loading and winning the throwing. And then he puts himself in a good position for the other events. So I really could see it. We'll see. But
And then
I mean, I'm rooting for Nick.
who do you got podium when it comes to finals?
That's brutal. What are the final events? Let's find them.
The final events are right here. They are the knack carry and hoist, 18-inch max deadlift, Hercules hold, Flintstone press max, and Atlas stones. I think I think the podium is gonna be Tom Hooper and uh 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 man, I'm drawing a huge blank right now. Lucas Hatton.
Lucas Hatton. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not exactly the biggest reach in the world,
No,
right?
not at all.
But
I think Hatton is going to put on a
carry and
show.
hoist, 18-inch deadlift, Hercules hold. Man, that has those three written on it. Lucas will win the Flintstone for sure. I would imagine Hooper will be in the top three on that, top five.
Yeah.
Atlas Stones is Tom. Hatton is sneaky good at stones. So, um, yeah, we'll see. I don't think that's a crazy podium. I wouldn't be
No.
surprised if you mix in a healthy Evan Singleton to get back on the podium.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, this is definitely the craziest, probably the deepest world strongest man we've ever seen for
For
sure.
sure.
Like the depth in each group. There's no schlubs. Like there's no guys that are just showing up. So like
Right.
everybody there is doing well. So I'm in with the format changes. Every single event matters. So nobody's going to be taking a break,
Right.
which
Well,
is awesome.
for sure. Well, let us
So
know what you guys think.
yeah,
We'll all be following along the spreadsheet this week, and
yeah,
we'll probably
for sure.
recap it. What day does it end?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we'll talk about it here in the next few weeks.
yeah.
Um, we'll be talking about regionals. I'm gonna have some people come on from the regionals. My ASM I'm going to the 80s, and then I'm gonna have some people there coming up for the 90s as well. Um, talk about our regionals as well. But if you're interested in signing up, right on Iron Podium, Bow the Bridge, check it out. So it's gonna be big this year. So
Yep.
get signed up, and we appreciate you guys listening, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
Yeah.